Okay, welcome back to the live stream. We had a little issue with Evony and the stream, but I'm now able to access this. So we've got a bit of catching up to do, which hopefully I can do very, very quickly. Let's just go straight over to the game. So let's have a look at the scores first and foremost. So we can see JDW on 84,000, which is the ones that I will be following. POB are in first place with 91,000. USA are in third place, with 81,000, and SLD are last with 36,000. So this is going to be a really interesting battle. We can see that two of POB are up at the top, but the first thing I'm going to do is jump over to JDW and have a look at some of these defenses that we can already see with these reports. Just going to message Evony back quickly because they're asking if I can get in. And then let's have a look at some of these reports. So this is a defense that we've got right now. Let's have a look. This was from Barry King, 3.9 billion, and Young Dad, 21.5 billion. It was pretty decent rally in terms of size. I mean, look at the troop amount of the reinforcements. But you can see that actually with the reinforcements as well, that was really good from Barry King. And let's jump into the troop buffs, which you can see here are very, very decent indeed. The attack there is 4972, so that is also very good. But the debuffs are exceptional from Barry King, which I believe actually could be one of those that has his own YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken. 16 people in the chat, thank you. Do hit the like. I know I started obviously late with the issues going on with Evony, but if you could just throw that like in there very quickly, it helps with this particular stream and the channel as well. Let's have a look at what else is going on. Let's jump straight back into the scores again, because we can see here that this is going to be quite a battle. USA were in yesterday's semi-finals that I was streaming, and they are also doing very well. They are now in first place. Second place is Pretty Odd Beasts from server 1726 on 102,000. And JDW, the ones that I am the spectator of, are in third with 87,000. And SLD Shield, server 1706, with 53,000, So this is it's going to be a pretty tough battle, I think we can safely say. So let's have a look at some of these rallies that are going on. I'm going to try and jump into some of these and see exactly what is going on, and in the meantime I can have a look at what else is going on. So this is 38.5 billion facing a 88.4 billion, which is incredible, and you can see the damage done there. I'm really interested to see the troop buff. Still doesn't beat yesterday's 7343 that I seen with USA, and that is probably why they are in first place, because they have some incredible attack from their side. I'm just going to jump into this one. This one is also not going on, but at least I can see some reports that I can share with you as well, so that is pretty cool. So that was a defense from Kenio, who is a level 45. And was this a different one? This looks like a different one, but this, oh no, this was the Barry King one, which we already had a look at, which was very, very impressive. The thing that I'm really impressed with this is, without doubt, those insane debuffs. 2486, that's incredible. I've got some way to go to being able to do anything of the sort myself. Score details for those that have joined late. You can see this is what we've got going on, and it really is one of those battles where I can see genuinely chopping and changing quite a lot, because one of the big plays that's going to come into this is who's prepared to spend a mountain of healing speed ups to stay in the game. And USA, they were impressive yesterday, and they're been the same today. They've got a guy, as I mentioned earlier, 7,300% range attack, so you can kind of see what's going on there. We've got Live Stellar POB in first place, 64,000. Zero, I believe that is the person in question. USA 41,000. Then we have Young Dad SLD 34,000, ZYZZ 32,000, Cake Boots 29, Wax 28, Nay 26, remember them from yesterday, Rez 25, Kenyo 18, Albino 25. That is the top 10. Sorry, 18. Albino 25 has 18. That is the top 10. Let's go back to the chat, see what is going on in here. And again, the Alliance wars are going so quick that literally I need to be keeping an eye on what and how things are going. Barry King, I'm just going to have a look at that. Level 41. That's insane stats. I need to speak to this guy and say, how did you get so much debuff? Because that is incredible, that kind of debuff. I'm at 1,300, I think. But I think it was 2,700 we've seen, which is pretty impressive. It really is. No rallies going on at the moment. I will keep flicking through the scores because, as I mentioned, they are going to change a lot. And you can actually see now, JDW, the ones that I am the spectator of, are already catching up POB, 153,000. So there's definitely a lot going on in this particular battle. Just going to jump back into the scores and just see 212,000. So I can really see all three of them alliances having something going on quite big, especially if there's going to be a lot of heal speed ups used as well. Do give a shout out in the chat. Let me know who's watching. Let's continue looking at this. We've got a battle report. Defense is 1, Cake Boob, and this is from the 85.1 billion superpower that is Life Stellar, and they are going against 31 billion Cake Boobs. So we can imagine that that was a pretty decent battle there, although Cake Boobs did okay in the defense. Let's have a look at the attacks. It's that 6130 again, and the debuff 2,700% again. Incredible. So I can see straight away this is definitely one of those, the immovable object against the irresistible force that is JDW versus USA. Has that done much to the scores? It has a little bit, because now USA, America 234,000, JDW comfortably pulling away in second. I say comfortably, a little bit. 174,000. Third place, Pretty Odd Beast 162, still very much in it. And Shield, we can't even write them off on 119,000 because they could be playing the late game. What I will do now is jump into the battlefield map and see exactly what and how we've got in terms of people turning up. USA have had 20, but that was yesterday's numbers. I think that's how many are in their alliance. JDW got 15. Not sure if there's more to turn up. POB 20. SLD 19. We've got 19 people in the chat. Welcome. Give a shout out. Let me know who's watching. And let's go back to the chat. They're strong. They absolutely are. Is this a different one? 38. Oh, this is a 38.6 billion USA facing 6.5 billion. That's a really good. Oh, okay, 6.5 billion. That's quite a lot, isn't it, in terms of lost power? So let's go and have a look at the troop attack on that. And this is the troop attack. You can see 7,120% ranged attack, 2,271% debuff. That is what we're kind of playing around with today. So that is crazy. If there's anyone out there that is watching other streams or is able to keep up to date with other scores, then also do let us know in the chat as well. Just going to double check. There are a few things that are okay. Yes, they are. What I am going to do now is just quickly go for a drink, and I will be back in literally 1 minute. And we're all good, and we're back. Okay. So, yeah, that's... let's have a actually quick glance. I'm just going to go down really quickly for the other scores that you can see, so you can have a check on who's doing what. I mentioned Barry King. They're in 12th place with 18,000. We've got a few of the others from USA that are in there as well. And Shield, 145,000. Are they trying to play a catch-up? I'm not really sure. 296,000 from USA is very impressive. It looks like they are doing what is expected with the kind of buffs they've got in attack. And also, when I did jump into them yesterday and I had a look at what was going on, they've got a few 45s, a few 44s. They are a very, very strong alliance. Apologies if I'm skipping really quick down this. It's because this one is definitely more action than yesterday. So I'm kind of aware that I need to jump back into the scores and the chat and the rallies. 74 people out of a possible 100 have turned up. Just making sure that there's no other reports that have gone, and no, there isn't, and there's no rallies set. Let's go back to this. It was mentioned in the comments earlier that JDW have no ports, and that is absolutely the case. Just going to jump around, seeing if I can see anyone else at the different hospitals. I can see there's a USA there. What's this? There's a few scattered here with USA. This is possibly where they are all gathered up when Evony catches up, and we can see Zero is the person that is doing all the damage, and their detail, they are a 48.3 billion superpower. Lots of different things going on there down at the bottom. You can see the kind of Ares daggers and all this kind of stuff going on. So they are very impressive, and that is why they are in first place. They have a very strong team, and I mentioned earlier about the fact that they've got a few 45s, a few 44s, and you can see them all scattered around here. That's exactly what they have. And jumping back into the score, first of all, going to go back to the JDW part where they are all watching, and we will continue. 23 people watching. Thank you very much. If you are watching, could you do me the biggest favor and just click that like button? It helps people know that this stream is going on when there is more interaction. So if you're able to do that for me, it would be absolutely amazing, and I really want to thank you in advance if you do. Have we got anything else going on? No, that one was the one that we saw already. That's gone. No, teleports haven't refreshed again yet. So JDW are potentially sitting ducks, to be honest, for rallies if that is going to go that route. Now I'm just going to click on the score details. 250,000 JDW. They've pulled it back to 75,000. Is this going to be a battle? Can USA be stopped in this? I'm not sure, but I'll tell you something, JDW are going to give it a go. And I want to thank Jep for the recommendation for JDW, because they are certainly fighters and are taking on the big boys in USA. POB, can we write them off? 208,000? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can write them off. They look like they are still hanging around. And SLD, even with 160,000, is still impressive. And again, let's just have a look. We only just passed the 30-minute mark in the stream. So there is still very much a lot to play for. Just going to go back to the battlefield map. I don't know why I'm all the way down there. Must have clicked a random button. Let's keep looking at this. Let's have a look at Cake. They are 25.8 billion. That is perfectly fine at the moment. Score details. They are actually trying to play a little comeback. I'm interested to see if they can continue doing this and make a real battle of this, because it's just, I love an underdog. That's what it is. I just love an underdog. And USA are like the Real Madrid of football. They just seem to have all the best players, all the biggest players, all the strongest players. And I am Team JDW, even a little bit POB in the background, and hoping that JDW can really make a fight of this and make it difficult for USA. POB 223, they're 40-odd thousand behind JDW. And then we've got Shield on 164 in last position. Let's have a look at the individual scores. Live Stella, 104,000 POB. USA 0, 74,000. Cake is JDW, 69,000. We've got ZYZZ, 64,000. Albino 25 in 5th place, 61,000. Young Dad 46,000. Rez 46. Kenyo 45. Nay 42. And in 10th place, we've got Wax on 32. Okay, we are back. Well, should I say I am back after my quick drink of water. And the scores are starting to pull away again. There's going to be some hard work needed by JDW because USA America, server 1776, they're now on 420,000. JDW, the Continental, server 1747, 312,000. That is who I am the spectator of. POB, Pretty Odd Beasts, server 1726, 245,000. And in fourth place, we've got server 1706 on 196,000. I will jump into the JW chat in a moment, but let's just shout out the individual scores. POB, Live Stella in first place, under 114,000. USA 0, 98,000. JDW, Cake, 81,000. JDW, Albino 25, 67. SLD, ZYZZ, 66,000. SLD, Young Dad, 61. USA, Res, 58. JDW, Kenio, 50. 9th is USA, Nay, 46. JDW in 10th. Trish 44. And what I will do now is just go slowly down in terms of the... Okay, I'm keeping an eye in the hope that someone is going to set a rally and I can chase it down. Although I know I need to be really, really quick because these go very, very quick indeed. So this is the Sicario one. And Sicario, I don't know if they've moved, but they are 6.5 billion. I think they did. I'm sure they were here, although looks like, let's have a look at what's going on there with Seth. Looks like they're zeroed. 6.5 billion, still playing 6.5 billion. Solo Himwick with ground. I think that was for Senio, I believe it was. No, sorry, Seth it was. Okay. So we've got nothing going on there. We've got Nay, level 45. This is just showing you what USA are. Nay was, yesterday I think, was top 10. They're top 10 today, but not really challenging the big scores. And they're a 10 billion K45. So it just shows you how difficult this really is for the others. Let's go back to the battlefield map. No one else has turned up. It's exactly the same as it was before. 20-20-20 for USA, POB, SLD, JDW on 15, although they are out of teleports. So when I click onto them on the map and I go over here, if there is anyone that isn't zeroed, they are the potential for a rally attack because they won't be able to move. What's this one? It's an alliance war. I'm not going to get there in time. They're just too quick for me. Res. Detail. I hate it when he does that. Res, detail, quick. 16.5 billion they're going after. Let's keep an eye on this and see if they do manage to do anything against this. I'm not sure. Sometimes there is a lag with me on the PC and what is actually going on. Is this, and that alliance war has ended. So I'm assuming that the rally was cancelled. I've got that. You may have noticed in the chat someone has just dropped in their ID, Evony ID. That is because I will pass these on to Evony to give some rewards for watching the final. I think it's about 50k gems, something like that. A few other little rewards in there as well. Kate Boobs has started one against Butcher Cassidy. That alliance war has already ended. Score detail. Is there anything changing? Not really. USA are nearly 200,000 ahead. I did say second and third could become an interesting battle, and that's exactly what looks like is happening. POB, JDW are battling out for second and third as we speak, although this can change. We know it can. Again, drop your ID into the comments if you're watching, your Evony ID, and I will throw that over at Evony. I can see that I've got 8 likes on this video. So big thank you for that. That really does help me and the algorithms for my channel. So thank you. Let's continue. Battlefield map, we just checked that. There are a couple of ports now for JDW to use. Let's go to the score detail. So 200k ahead now. It's official. They are 200k ahead. JDW doing very well in second place. Grim Reaper, I've got that. POB, server 1726, 316,000. Shield, server 1706, 215,000. And the top 10, Life Stella, 0, Cake, Albino, Res, Ziz. Nay, Young Dad, I said about Nay, they're in 7th place, 68,000. They are a K45 10 bill account. Young Dad in 8th, Kenyo 9th, Wax in 10th. I will slowly go down the other scores so that I can see, so that you can see anyone you may be keeping an eye out for. So slowly I will go down this, and hopefully whoever you are following, if you are, they're doing really well. We've seen Seth earlier, they're on 9,032. Give a few shout outs to the people that are lower down. We've got Burglar USA, we've got Poseidon, POB, we've got, who else have we got? Let's shout one from Apparella from SLD, Papa Pog, POB. I'm giving a few shout outs here. Nakshak JDW, Bacon JDW, Legoland, been there for SLD, Dreamfire, Eadwig. We love some of the names that are on here. We don't know what the meaning is behind many of them, but hopefully there is a story behind some of them. Dr. Coppertop, Nyash Kitty, let's continue shouting down. Rusty W, Abraham, Bright Rake, and in a very respectable 75th place with 56 points is Lil Mojo. Okay, so that is currently the scores. Let's go to the battlefield map, and it's going to be that time where I'm going to go and grab myself a drink of water. So I will leave this on here. I will leave the score detail on here, and I will be back in 30 seconds. Okay, I am back. The scores have not really changed much. There is a battle going on for 2nd and 3rd that I did mention. Just going to jump over to that now so we can see USA 568,000, JDW 71747 357,000, Pretty Odd Beast 71726 332,000, Shield 71706, very respectable 4th place 217,000. I can also see there are a few IDs in the chat, and there are a few from different people. There's one from Night Nitty, there's one from Night Nitty the 2nd, Night Nitty the 3rd, and Night Nitty the 4th, who are all very much different people. So I will definitely share those to Evony, wink wink. And let's have a look at the scores. Coop City, I've got you. Uzi, I've got you. I will send them across. I feel like this is my 6th stream now, and it's so much better than my 1st. I'm getting this little taste of how and what I should be doing. I've got the stream much better than my 1st attempt, and if you did join me with my 1st attempt, you will know that that is the case as well. Let's shoot down some of these scores. I'm not going to shout out anymore. I'm just going to literally zoom down quickly, and then I'm going to jump into the chats for JDW, see if we've got anything interesting going on there. I'd love to say that there's going to be some kind of comeback, but there is a battle for 2nd and 3rd. Look at the battle now. 364,000 place, 364,000. It is literally on for 2nd and 3rd. Let's go into the chat, see if we've got anything going on. Have we got any reports being shared? No, we haven't. But what we do know is these are now battling. POB, catch our score. Yes, they have. I noticed there was something else happened. I'm just going to make sure. Okay, so this is going to become a much better than the 1st. This is Forest. I've got that. No problem at all. I'm interested to see how Cake is doing on it. Are they going to get any more attacks? 23.3 billion. And I'm assuming is one of the big players over there for doing this. Got 11 likes on the stream now, which is not bad at all. I got 19 yesterday, so it's going to be a tough go to try and beat yesterday's 19 likes. 13, wow, there's an extra 2. So yeah, 19 yesterday. It's going to be tough to try and beat that, but 13, I'm playing catch up as well myself to try and beat my previous record. So that is for that. Let's have a look with Cake Boob, another Alliance War. It's for a USA member. It's go over here. We can see that there's some reinforcements going there. I'm not going to get there in time. 6.8 billion. 6.8 billion. I had to be so that, and also I hate it when you're clicking on these different. It's a 0 because there's flames. I can see flames. 6.8 billion plays to 2.4 billion. So hopefully that's going to be a nice little rally to help with the scores, but it hasn't actually. It's gone the other way. JDW on 378,000, POB on 398. This is the battle that we're looking for, second versus third, and now JDW are 20,000 behind POB. Can they pull this back and catch up, should I say, POB? Let's have a look in the Battlefield chats. Got nothing going on. We need a few good defences, I think, and a few decent attacks. There's another one going on against Res. Let's jump across to Res. There are 13.4 billion. I've seen it. And am I going to get on there in time? 12.4 billion. So it looks like a 1 billion drop in that. Doesn't look like I've got to play any catch-up in relation to this. Okay, I believe there is a sound issue. Really would love to know why it happens. I think it's my software. I think it's XSplit. So I've tried to fix it. So if someone can give me a thumbs up when hearing this, if it's back to normal. It's really frustrating. I'd love to know the reason behind it. It might even have to be one of those where maybe I'm sure, I'm 90% sure it's XSplit, which is the software I use, and it might be one of those where I may have to look at an OBS or something different to do these streams. XSplit is really nice and simple. I like the layout and the way it works, but again, if it's going to be repetitive sound issues, then of course I won't be able to do that. So if anyone is listening to this part, Kirsty Wills, thank you. Hopefully that's a thumbs up that the echoey, bouncy type sound is now better. We've got 26 people in the chat. I still only have 13 likes. I'm not going to beat yesterday's. I need another 7. Help me out, people. I need another 7. While I do that, or while you do that, I will go and check the scores. Let's have a look. 20,000 is now in between POB and JDW in the battle for second and third. Shield have done very well. They've made it to the final, so that is always an incredible achievement, and they should be really happy with their score of 253,000 and just being involved in the final. Jack, thank you. That's good to know now. So that's good to know because it means I know how to fix it. What isn't good is I don't know when it starts. So that's my biggest problem. It might be one of those that actually I don't know if I'd be able to. I don't know if I'd be able to listen to the stream myself and talk at the same time. I don't think I'd balance that very well. So I just rely on you people. That's what I rely on to tell me that there is an issue with the sound. Okay, let's continue. What I need as well from you people, I don't notice many, but there are a few IDs in the chats, and the IDs can be passed on to Evony to get some rewards. I think it's 50k gems, might be a little bit more. I can't remember 100%, but it's free. Why not? All you need to do is drop your ID into the chat, and I can do that. Okay, let's have a look at the chats in terms of JDW. Let's see if we've got any reports being shared. We are not. I'm not sure if they are going to be continuing to chase second place. It's very frustrating. It really is. Because, like I say, I don't want to not use this. I tried to use OBS software. It's definitely one of those that I'm going to have to do and have a look at. But I didn't get on with it very well. But it might be that that's the one I've got to use. Give me a thumbs up if it's now okay, because basically what I'm doing is deleting the source microphone out and then re-adding it back in. Yeah, that's the answer. So that is how to fix it. But I don't want it starting in the first place. That's the thing. But, you know, what can you do? Okay, let's go back to the scores. Second versus third is the battle that we are interested in. is 27,000. That is in between that. I've got 16 likes. Just noticed I've got another 3 likes, and now I only need 4 more to beat yesterday's 19. And then I can say I won in the final as well. Battle of Chalons. Here we go. Scores. USA, it's time for a shout out. I've left it a while. Absolutely smashing it. Absolutely cruising. Absolutely blown everyone out of the water. I'm sure they've probably zeroed many keeps around the map. 721,000. Server 1776. In second place, 433,000. Server 1726. Pretty Odd Beasts. In third place with 406,000 and 27 odd thousand away from POB is JDW. And in fourth place, Server 1706, 254,000. How long do we have left on the battle? 46 minutes, 16 seconds. Anyone else turned up? SLD had an extra person turned up, but apart from that, no additionals have come to the party. So I'm assuming POB and USA. USA I know are 20 because that's what turned up yesterday. So I'm assuming they are a team, they are an alliance of 20 people, and that's who turns up from that. What are we going to check now? Let's go. We've got a battle report. We've got an attack from a bit albino. Let's have a look at it. So it was a 21 billion attacking a 1.3 billion, and you can see that it was quite a damaging one actually. Didn't do that well at all. The buffs from the 1.3 billion were from Wax actually, who was in the top 10, were very decent. I've got to say those are decent stats for a 1.3 billion. Let's go and have a look actually. Wax is a 42. The detail on there, not much being shared, but you can see that they've probably got some decent attack buffs, defense buffs from the military academy, because that was a very decent one indeed. We've got a share here for POB. I'm just going to jump on it, see if there's anything going on. 881 million, probably not much in there. Jack, I've got that ID as well. I will share that. Still on 16 likes, 23 people in the chat watching. Big shout out to all of you. I really appreciate it. This is very new to me, but it's actually something I enjoy. So that's a good thing, because talking for 2 hours is not the easiest thing, especially when you're kind of talking out loud to yourself. But I always wanted to be a football commentator, so maybe I am now living the dream. Okay, I am going to go for a quick break. I will be back very shortly. Just to give a shout out to Some Doomer as well, just having a little look in the background. And what I can do actually, again, I'm still quite new to this, is I will add those ads when I go on a break. That's what I believe. And then I think I can turn it off for any other ads being added. So do apologise. Still very, very new to this. So 18 likes. I'm only 2 away to beating the record. So that is definitely something I can do for future streams. So Some Doomer, thank you for highlighting that. And that is something I will definitely do on future streams. Okay. 437 place 453, 16,000. Anything being shared in the chat? We've got a battle report, but that is for a scout. Attacks lost Kenio. Let's have a look what happened here, Kenio. 27.9 billion. We've got 452 million place, 382 million in lost power. Let's have a look at the troop buffs that are going on here. Kenio, they had an attack buff of 4,361, which was very decent. And then we can see Shoe Swap, 2.2 billion, had some decent buffs as well. Certainly not bad at all. So it was a decent attack, decent defense. It was pretty even in my opinion. Just going to have a look at what that says. This on chat, some things are hidden. Personal score for round rewards and cumulative personal score rewards based on the Battle of Chalons final placement. Higher cumulative personal score gets you higher on list for red sub when Battle of Chalons is over. So there's definitely still some things to play for there. So appreciate that, Jack. Thank you for highlighting and letting me know what that was all about. Nothing else going on. So in terms of, let's have a look actually, the individual scores again. Actually, I've just noticed POB are pulling away a little bit from JDW. I'm still hopeful. I'm still holding out hope that JDW will come back and grab second place. I'm team JDW. Interested to know if anyone's watching for the other teams. Is anyone supporting USA, POB, SLD? I will always support the person, the alliance that I am the spectator of. So that is what I'm doing. I'm rooting for JDW to come back in this and grab second place. That's an interesting one. Alliance rewards same for 2nd to 5th. It'd be interesting to know. Sorry, just getting my words out. It'll be interesting to know if they actually ever do struggle in any kind of battles in terms of server versus server, BOC, BOG. Are they someone that just literally takes a big portion of everything? And I'm from server 1429. We've got a few big people in our alliance. In our server, but they're 15 billion, and that's server 1429 and our biggest. There are some really big, crazy spenders on this game that I just don't get it. I mean, I don't know how much you'd have to spend to be a zero or a life stellar. What do people reckon? What do you reckon you have to spend to be at their level? So there are 20 people watching in the chat. Do let me know what you think. Let's go back into here. Nothing going on. That was the one I tried to look at. Actually, let's have a look if there's anything else that's changed in their score. Although they may have healed. They have. 8.4 billion straight away. So that is for that. It'd be interesting as well, after this has finished, to go and check out what other people have done in terms of the final. Bit of a catch up on Reddit, bit of a catch up on other people's streams as well, to see what other battles were going on. 500k. Surely not. Surely not. Please. I can't imagine anyone spending more than 10k, even though I know, of course, they absolutely do. And it's the old clip, again, if you've got the money, then why wouldn't you? If that's your thing, if that's what you want to do, spend within your means, spend within your limits. And if that's the kind of money you've got to throw at a game, then I guess that is up to you. One Low Sierra, 7,200. Let's continue going down. Knack Shack, or Snack Shack, 5,300. Sir Z, 5,000. 19 likes is an equaliser, guys. 19 likes. I only need one more now, and then I beat yesterday's. Hitchan, 4,500. Bacon, 4,400. Sarface, 4,300. Crush, you've got 3,000. The King M, 2,300. These lower people probably aren't playing too much. They probably came in, got zeroed, and left. And how many people do we have? We have 76 people taking part out of a possible 100, I believe. Bright Rake 213. Let's have a look how many people did turn up for the different alliances. Battlefield map. We can see USA 20. They only had 20 yesterday as well. JDW 15. So they could have had another 10 people turn up. POB 20. SLD 21. Rad, I've got that ID. If you haven't dropped your ID in, please do consider doing it now. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to press buttons just because I can. And I just want to see if it does anything on the live stream. I'm learning all the time. And what would be really good, genuinely, and I'm asking this, 21 likes are beating yesterday's. There you go. I can walk away happy. So I've just noticed there's an ad popped up there, and I didn't do that. So that is something I still need to work on. So I am genuinely intrigued. I'm genuinely intrigued what people are thinking of the stream. I'm new to this. I'm 47. I've decided to do this really late in life in terms of streaming the games that I love, which are mobile strategy. But what's the feedback? I've got 30 people watching. Is there anything that you've changed? I know someone mentioned about the ads and how to do that, and that's something I'm going to look at. How would you rate the sound qualities? I know there is a couple of issues with it bouncing, and that may be looking at a different piece of software, which I will absolutely do. And what about the tone that I'm using? I mean, you know, again, give me that feedback. I even if it's constructive, even if you just genuinely don't like it, all the feedback is only going to help me improve for future streams. And I'm thinking, I'm toying with the idea that I might do a few of the BOCs from our alliance on our server, where I can obviously share some of those battle reports and things as well. But it's only an idea that I'm flirting with. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I'm going to do. So let's go back to the scores. Let's have a look at any late adjustments. USA 856. POB seems to be getting a lot of points all of a sudden. 512. 467 is for JDW, which is the people that I'm streaming to. Good consistent commentary. Evony needs to provide you more information. Do you know what? I'd love that. I would love if they could find some way of putting me as a spectator, but I've got access to more things. Maybe a side way of seeing different issues. Different attacks, different battle reports, all those kind of things. That would be awesome. What we got there? Grim Reaper, you're doing awesome. Thank you, appreciate that. And a thumbs up from RML Ventures. So again, thank you for that as well. We are looking like with 17 minutes to go. We've got a battle report. I was hoping it was a decent one. I'm here for it all. Lives and vids, and occasionally pop onto your website. 2, if I need to reference things being lovely. Sorry, it was difficult for me to read because I'm looking on this on a different thing, but there's a heart icon over the top. So that's something I'm doing. Yeah, the Learn Evony in Minutes, actually. I'll just give a quick shout out to that. That is something I'm doing. So I'm doing the Learn Evony in Minutes series. It's a new idea that I've come up with, where I'm going to try and do bite-size, simple, understanding videos, everything Evony. And then I'm going to do that for other strategy games as well. So if there's any other strategy games out there. And the idea is, I'm just going to literally take out all the fluff and just give you the information you need in a 5-minute video or less. Now, there are going to be some videos I can't do that with. For an example, trying to think of the word, can't think of the word, it's just gone completely out. Blazons. It had gone out of my head for 1 second. Blazons may be a video that needs more than 5 minutes for an explanation. But the idea is I'm going to go and jump into these videos. I'm going to make them as short as possible, but still give you the information I need. So do have a check out on them as well. Okay, you don't have cav, yes or no range. Just having a look if there's any other reports here. There isn't. Okay, let's go to the battlefield map. No one else has turned up late. No, they haven't. And it is as you were. Score details. It's not changing, is it? 868. I'm just wondering how big the score gap is going to be between USA and POB. I'm really intrigued because 351,000 is currently the difference between first and second, and that to me is insane. And again, I'm going to ask because there may be some new people in the chat. Yesterday I seen a ranged attack of 7,300% from USA. It's the biggest I've seen. Has anyone seen bigger than 7,300% ranged attack? And that is from 0 in USA. Okay, I was just asking my very good speaking Spanish daughter. I'm sure it is. 1263399125. If you're wondering why that's been put in there, that is because I can share these IDs with Evony, and then they will pass on some rewards. The rewards aren't amazing, I'll be honest, but they're free. So if you'd like me to do that for you, then you just need to drop in your ID and I can then do that for you. How long we got left? 14 minutes left of the battle. I don't think anyone will be challenging anyone different now. So I'm pretty confident, unless there's some crazy charge from JDW, that in first place it's going to be USA 879,000. The question is, how big is that gap going to be? POB in second, Pretty Odd Beast from server 1726, 519,000. JDW 480,000. That is who I am the spectator of. Server 1747 and Shield server 1706, 297. Probably feeling disappointed that they're finishing in fourth, but I wouldn't be. You made it to the final, and in my opinion, that's an achievement in itself, is getting to the final. Individual scores: USA, I was talking about 0, 217,000. Life Stellar 214,000. Res 146. Cake 134. Nay 132. Albino 120. Ziz 108. Sir Updawazu 69. Probably my favourite name of the day. Young Dad 67. Wax in 10th 66. There's a lot of people on 69 and 63 in between that, so there may be some little late charges for the personal scores and where people are going to finish. But in terms of JDW and POB, there isn't really going to be much change, I don't think, with the scores. 37 now. Quick maths. Arginus, I've got that. I need to go and get a drink as much as I don't want to. My throat is very, very sore. I've been talking for 2 hours. I will be back in a minute. And as we come towards the end here, I think it was 76, the last count for people that are turned up to this battle. And that is still the case. 76 people out of possible 100 have turned up. And USA, they're a team of 20. POB, probably likewise as well. Not sure with JDW. 15 seems quite small in terms of an alliance, but maybe that is how many people they've got. Rowan, appreciate that. Got your ID, and thanks for the feedback. Great stream. That is exactly what I want to hear. SLD, they've got 21 people, so not a bad turnout. We've got a battle report. Yes, Kenny O. Kenny O has shared a battle report. This is Life Stellar 31 billion versus Kenny O 26 billion, and you can see it was a pretty tough battle, which is expected when you've got powers like that. And you can see from a buff perspective, this is what we've got. We've got what we got there: 5,383 siege from Life Stellar, but 1,962% in the debuff from Kenio. So that was very, very decent indeed. Two very big keeps. And I'll be honest with you, I will never be 4 billion. That's where I think my limit will be on Evony. I don't think I will ever get more than 4 billion. Not unless something drastically changed in my financial situation. But even then, I'd probably find better things to spend my money on. Just being honest. Okay. What have we got left? We've got 3 minutes and 55 seconds. It's nearly coming to an end. My voice is saying thank you so much for that, because it is definitely feeling it at the moment. Cake, I can see a alliance war against Life Stellar. This is probably where people are just having a bit of fun now, right at the end. Let me go to Life Stellar. I'm trying to go there quickly. Detail, 24.8 billion. This is not going to do anything, is it? 24.8 billion is now 23.7. It took 1.1 billion off. But obviously there is also the potential for some reinforcements there as well. Be interesting to see that report if they decide to share it, which they do. No, they don't. This is a different report. Getting all the reports now. We won't be able to keep up with this. So this is always nice when you get to see some smaller keeps having a little battle themselves. And that's exactly what's happened here between Lil Mojo and Bacon. And you can see the different buff stats that they have there. So very well played to them. There was more, I believe. We had, so that was the attack. Then we had defenses 1. What was this? This was 0 in a little battle with Kenyo. What else have we got? We've got defenses 1. Again, this is your opportunity. If you haven't dropped in your ID, please do that now. We've only got 2 minutes left of the stream. I won't be staying much longer than that. Shout out the scores and that'll be pretty much the stream ended. So if you do want to throw in your ID, then now is the time to do that. And just going to go down. This is another one. Did a look at this. Looks like Evony is playing silly because it doesn't want to show me things anymore. Defenses 1 from... Oh, why are you not showing me? Looks like I've got a little crash going on here. Let's come off that. Defenses 1. This one here. 23.7 billion playing 14.22 billion. Not a lot happened in that. That might have just been some kind of testing going on. I'm not sure. Because there was nothing happened in that. So we are genuinely getting down now anyway to the end. 51 seconds to go. Let's chase out the last scores. For the final time, USA, America, 935,000. So close to the million. Server 1776. Then we had POB on 580,000. Server 1726. Then we had JDW, the Continental, which was the alliance that I was the spectator for, with 534,000 from server 1747, and Shield server 1706, 349,000 in 4th place. Live Stellar 264,000 is going to finish with the 1st place. Awards 0 in 2nd, USA 251. Rez makes the top 3, and that is the end for Battle of Chalons, the final. So it was a very interesting battle. There was hope in the first hour that maybe the underdogs could challenge USA, but in the end, USA showed that their strength, their group of 20 very, very strong castles, certainly as well for a new server, 1776, fairly new. I think we're into the 2000s now. But they are definitely a force to be reckoned with in events, that is for sure. Like I say, POB in 2nd and JDW in 3rd. There was a slight chance, I thought, at the beginning, in the first 30 minutes to an hour, that maybe there could be some kind of challenge. But that has definitely been thrown out of the window. But still a very good performance from them in their challenge for 2nd and 3rd. And like I say, SLD Shield, 350,000. You got to the final. It's not 4th place. It's a tremendous achievement in getting there. So there are 17 people left watching. Just want to say thank you to you all. I did beat my likes with 21, so I can take that away and have that as the new record for any future streams. I really do hope you enjoyed the way I delivered this today, and I look forward to seeing you all in future streams. Thanks for watching.